There is a man in a brown tweed jacket, with a face that says more than 1,000 words ever could. He rarely speaks, yet when he does, his words carry a peculiar weight. Mr. Bean, awkward, clumsy, endlessly curious, reminds us that life is not about perfection, but about persistence wrapped in humor. He once admitted, "The older you get, the more you realize how happenstance, how completely random things can be." And perhaps that is the great secret. Life is never a neat script. It is messy, surprising, sometimes embarrassing, but always worth living. Think of the moments he stumbles through, struggling with a sandwich in the park, fumbling in church, dancing ridiculously to music no one else hears. These scenes may look like comedy, but underneath them lies a lesson. Never be ashamed of being different. When the world laughs at you, it is proof that they are paying attention. Impact is not always applause. Sometimes it is laughter, sometimes it is silence, but it means you have been seen. Mr. Bean once declared, "I have a problem with the world. Too many people grow up." That statement carries a challenge. Why lose the joy of wonder? Why trade curiosity for conformity? His life whispers to us, cling to your inner child, protect that spark of silliness, let it light up the dull corridors of adulthood. So here is the motivation. Do not rush to erase your quirks. Do not silence your uniqueness. In your mistakes lies your charm, in your flaws lies your story, and in your awkwardness lies your power. Like Mr. Bean, carry your teddy, wear your odd suit, and let the world laugh. Because one day, they will realize that your strangeness was your strength all along. Notice something extraordinary. He does not try to blend in. He does not smooth his hair, or copy the way others behave, or shrink into the background. Instead, he trips over the obvious, makes a scene without meaning to, and somehow becomes the center of attention. What looks like clumsiness is actually courage, the courage to be seen in imperfection. In life, many of us fear the spotlight. We hide behind masks, waiting for the perfect moment to show who we really are. But Mr. Bean teaches us that the perfect moment never comes. You create it by daring to step forward, even if you stumble. His actions whisper a truth louder than words. You do not need polish to be powerful. You need authenticity. Rowan Atkinson, the man behind the character, once explained, "The freedom to be very, very silly is a privilege that should never be taken for granted." This is more than comedy, it is philosophy. If silliness has value, then your quirks, your hobbies, your strange little habits also hold power. You do not need to erase them to be accepted. In fact, they are the very tools that make you unforgettable. Think of the countless scenes where Bean transforms boredom into laughter, an exam room turned upside down, a Christmas dinner gone wrong, or a trip to the beach filled with chaos. Every disaster became a story, every mistake a memory, every embarrassment a kind of triumph. Isn't that what life should be? Not a polished script, but a collection of bold, messy, unforgettable moments. So here lies the challenge. Do not wait until you are flawless to show up. Show up now, awkward, unfinished, maybe even misunderstood. Let people laugh, let them frown, let them question. Because in that laughter, in that confusion, in that attention, you will find proof that you made a mark. And marks, not masks, are what history remembers. Behind the laughter, behind the slapstick chaos, there is often a man who sits alone, with his teddy as his only companion. He celebrates birthdays by himself, eats dinners in silence, and faces the world with no one cheering him on. And yet, he never stops smiling. He never stops trying. He never stops creating joy, even out of loneliness. This is perhaps the deepest lesson he offers us. Happiness is not always about who surrounds you, but how you choose to face the moments when no one does. Rowan Atkinson once reflected, "What is funny is that we all do silly things. We all have awkward moments. Mr. Bean is just a magnified version of that. Maybe that's why his loneliness touches us. It mirrors our own hidden struggles. How many of us know what it feels like to be overlooked, ignored, or misunderstood? And yet, Mr. Bean turns solitude into creativity. Where most of us would sulk, he invents games, builds stories, finds laughter in his own company. He shows us that loneliness does not have to mean despair. It can be the soil where imagination and resilience grow. Life will not always hand us crowds, applause, or companions. There will be seasons when it is just us and our Teddy. But if we can learn to embrace those moments, not with bitterness, but with curiosity, we may discover an inner strength we never knew we had. So here is the challenge. Do not despise your lonely seasons. Use them. Build in them. Create in them. Let them stretch your imagination and deepen your resilience. Because one day, when the crowds finally gather, they will not admire the noise you made. They will admire the strength you built in silence. Grand victories, medals, applause, history books. But Mr. Bean redefines triumph in the smallest, strangest ways. For him, triumph is managing to park his tiny green car in a crowded lot, or finally finishing his exam, even if he copied half of it, or outsmarting a guard with a ridiculous disguise. To us, these moments look absurd. Yet beneath the laughter, they teach a powerful truth. Victory is not always enormous. It is often found in the little battles we win each day. Rowan Atkinson once said, "To be successful, you don't need to be serious. You just need to be yourself." Mr. Bean lives this out. His triumphs do not come from playing by the world's rules, but from daring to play by his own. He doesn't fight like others fight. He wiggles, bumbles, and improvises until somehow, against all odds, he gets through. And isn't that the kind of triumph most of us need? Not the polished one, but the messy, awkward, determined one? Think about your own life. Success does not have to mean standing on a stage or breaking records. Sometimes it is simply surviving a hard day with your smile intact. Sometimes it is choosing to get up after disappointment, or finding laughter when you could have chosen bitterness. These are victories too, quiet, unseen, but deeply transformative. Mr. Bean reminds us that triumph is not reserved for the extraordinary. It is hidden in the ordinary. Every small win matters. Every step forward counts. And when you string them together, they form a life that, while imperfect, is undeniably resilient. So here is the reminder of this moment. Celebrate your small victories. Honor your awkward wins.